Welcome to this training presentation on defining the desired states for Checkpoint 1. The elements included in this presentation are data, buy-in, and leadership. The intended audience for this presentation are learning supports consultants and members of the certification team. As you know, there are a total of 8 elements for the certification program, and these 8 are broken into 2 checkpoints. Checkpoint 1 includes the first 3 foundational elements: data, buy-in, and leadership. Notice that the elements for Checkpoint 2 are listed here, although we will study the desired states associated with these elements in a separate presentation. You also know that each of the elements consists of one or more desired states that specify what the school is expected to accomplish in order to measure up to the expectations for certification. The purpose of this presentation is to help you understand how each of the desired states is defined, including how each one fits into the IS3 process, as well as what IS3 related artifacts could be submitted in order to satisfy the desired state for the purpose of certification. These are the 6 desired states associated with the data element. Let's examine them to make sure we all understand what each one means. Let's examine each of the pieces of this first desired state. Notice that it can be broken down into essentially 2 parts: assessing bullying behaviors and assessing bystander behaviors. Each one must be assessed with multiple measures. In addition, at least one of these must be proven as both valid and reliable. It's important to note that the assessment measures used to gauge bullying behaviors don't have to be different than those used to measure bystander behaviors. They could be the same data source. The IS3 survey measures bullying within its own construct and bystander behavior under peer perceived emotional safety. Additional sources of data could include the Olweus Bullying Questionnaire, or OBQ, focus group data, or specific incident data. The second desired state has to do with the bullying data gathered from students, staff members, and parents who completed the IS3 survey. The data is separated into a student set of data and an adult set of data. The data is thoroughly analyzed to identify both what the school is doing well related to bullying and harassment prevention, as well as what concerns need to be corrected through action planning. While schools analyze both student and adult data, they may not have goals for both areas if it is not indicated by their data. For this desired state, we are primarily interested in knowing what the analysis of the survey data has revealed and how this has been translated into action items. This information can be understood by examining the school's root cause analysis of the data, which is typically embedded within the implementation plan. The school should explain itself when no specific bullying and harassment concerns are revealed through the data, or in the event that the school has good reason not to take action on these concerns right away. Therefore, some schools' goals may be related to broader climate issues that are tied to bullying. For this desired state, it stands to reason that the number of measurable targets will depend on what is learned through the data analysis addressed by an earlier desired state. In essence, however, a clear connection must be made beginning with the data analysis, which then leads to measurable targets and is finally captured in the implementation plan. The result of this process is the school's consistent march towards improvement. This desired state emphasizes that the data must be the basis of any programs, initiatives, or other interventions implemented by the school, and that the data has highlighted a need or problem that such a program, initiative, or other intervention would address. In this case, a combined CFL diagnosis and implementation plan that outlines clear and measurable targets provides solid evidence of meeting the standard. The implementation plan includes measurable targets, a CFL diagnosis which breaks down root cause, and action items which are tied to the analysis. Desired state number 5 asks the school to explain what their ongoing process will be for the regular collection of data. We are looking to see that the school is not leaving ongoing data collection to chance. Therefore, the plan should be as specific and detailed as possible and include what data sources are available, when and how often they'll be administered, and what they will measure. Essentially, this desired state is asking the school to explain what lessons have been learned from the data and then specify what it intends to do about it. It can be assumed that as part of the IS3 process, it is the core leadership team that has completed the data analysis. For this reason, we are less concerned with the process of data analysis and more concerned with the outcomes or products. Multiple iterations of the school's implementation plan are a great artifact that clearly shows how decisions change over time. The buy-in element has only one desired state, but that doesn't make it any less important. Let's examine this desired state in more detail to find out what it means. We consider at least 80% to be a passing grade for buy-in, based on a staff survey completed early in the certification process. The Safe School Certification Program will provide the school with a survey and assist with tabulating the results. This 80% is based on the percentage of staff who actually completed the buy-in survey. The formula for determining buy-in is relatively straightforward. The percentage of all staff who completed the survey multiplied by the level of buy-in captured as a percentage by the survey. Here is one example showing how you would calculate buy-in. If the school does not pass buy-in at the minimum of 80%, then plans need to be made to increase the response rate of the buy-in survey. In this type of situation, a different method for measuring staff buy-in could be utilized based on the school's needs. The leadership element has two important desired states, each one having to do with two different but equally critical types of leadership teams. Let's examine these two desired states in more detail to find out what they mean. At the end of both slides 13 and 14, documents will automatically open which detail best practices for forming leadership teams. Please take a moment to review these documents. When you are done, you can either save or close the document and hit the play button in the lower left-hand corner to resume the presentation. To satisfy this desired state, the school must make active use of a core leadership team, or CLT. Remember, under the data element, the school has already proven that the group is well-versed in using data to set and achieve goals. Therefore, this desired state should focus mainly on the makeup of the CLT. The CLT must include representatives from all the indicated roles, including administration, staff, students, family members, and members of the community. That list must clearly illustrate the roles represented on the team, but names may be omitted for confidentiality. Here are some additional tips to consider when reviewing the CLT roster. One of the foundational principles of the certification program is student voice. Members of the Student Leadership Team, or SLT, contribute to the certification process in much the same way as the members of the core leadership team. The team must represent a diverse cross-section of the school, hold regular meetings, and provide substantive feedback to the core leadership team. Remember, just like the CLT, we know under the grant that the SLT is involved in analyzing data and making decisions. Therefore, the main item the school needs to prove under this desired state is the actual makeup of the group. Schools describe how the SLT represents a diverse cross-section of their population, but should omit names for confidentiality. Here are some additional tips to consider when reviewing the student leadership team. Thank you for your time and attention to the important information in this presentation. Questions and other feedback should be directed to the Safe School Certification Program office via the contact information listed here. Have a great day.